welcome to the Kingdom Compass, where we point you towards the goods, the bads of all things Disney. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin Tennell. Griffin D. Padden with me, as always, is the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Mitch George. How are you doing?
The podcast might end tonight.
Yeah, we really chose hey, rebranded, second episode.
Let's get into a
Second
fight
episode,
right away.
Immediately late. We immediately are a week off.
Oh no, not even that. It's just, the topic of tonight.
Yeah, and then the topic today. We are talking today, folks, about our favorite rides at Disney World and finally crowning what is the best ride. What are the best 10 rides at Walt Disney World across all 4 parks? But before we get into that, of course, hey, how's it going?
And 2 water parks. Don't forget the water parks.
There's literally no water park stuff on my list.
Me neither. I've only ever been to Blizzard Beach, and it was once, and I was like 12. So
yeah,
but that new park. Well, and also the new resort park. If you are going and you have your day of arrival, you get free entry to whatever water park is open that day. So
we had that great ride a little bit of both of them being open. I'm like, man, that was nice. I never used it at all, but it was nice.
No.
Anyways, folks,
no, because going out in the Florida heat to go to a water park includes having to go out in the Florida heat. So
that might be one of the things that might be worth it for it, though.
We're not talking about that today.
What's up? We're talking about top 10 rides, but before we get that, a little bit of housekeeping. First off, hi, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in and listening. Remember, folks, if you're listening on podcast services, we are the Kingdom Compass now, but we also have the YouTube channel where you can find us, you can find all of our new assets and whatnot, and we'd really appreciate you coming over here and taking a look because, frankly, they look really cool.
Griffin did a lot of really hard work, and it looks amazing, and y'all should go and click the like button, the subscribe button, and share it with all of your Disney friends. And your non-Disney friends, because this isn't going to... The whole idea behind the rebrand is we are branching out. It is going to be a wild and crazy ride.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still starting with Disney, because that's our bread and butter.
Oh, yeah. This show will be Disney. The other one, less so. And we might add in some new segments here or there to talk about non-Disney stuff.
Yeah.
But... yeah, go check that out. Check out the YouTube channel. YouTube, hey, we got a podcast version as well if you're interested in that. Of course, this is our regular show. We also have our weekly show right now going over episodes of Win or Lose, all 8 of those. And when that is done, we will find something else to talk about. Now, when that is done, we'll find something else to talk about, and so on and so forth. Go check all of those out. Check out our short series, either here or on TikTok at Griffy Dust. That's right. It's my TikTok. I can do what I want. Mwahaha.
We have to have a conversation about that. I did not agree to us spinning off the charts into Griffin's own little thing, but whatever.
I mean, I really just do them for the YouTube. They get nothing. They get no views on TikTok.
I watch them. I watch them there. I don't watch shorts on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I will watch ours because that's where you should be doing and clicking things and
I genuinely
stuff.
Never realized actually how many people use YouTube Shorts until we started posting shorts.
I think it's just that there are probably countries cracking down on the use of TikTok.
Really? It's just the U.S.
I mean, that's a big market.
Because our government is a bunch of assholes that don't like it when they don't own things.
No, really? Canadian over here doesn't know what you're talking about. I think we should actually be part of it. No. We're not talking about that.
I'll make fun of whenever I have
we have a lot to catch up on, you and I, because we have not talked in a couple of weeks, which is why this episode is late, and have to have some non-Disney related conversations off camera.
Oh yeah, this is what happens when I take a vacation.
I also
you were also on vacation.
Was busy,
and you're back.
I was 1 week. I was back to work last week, but it
was like you went on trip, then I went on trip, and now I went to parks, and I want to talk about those parks. I want to give a quick caveat though before we jump into this top 10.
Parks.
I can't speak for your list. I have not seen your list. I do not know your
No, you have not. I really wanted to upset you, and then you said no shows.
I presume because I don't think you've written it either. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is not on your list.
It is not on my list. I've ridden it as Splash Mountain prior to the refurb. I have not ridden it in either park since it reopened.
Yeah, neither have I. And so that's the caveat I want to put on this. Any top 10 list is going to have caveats. It's going to have restrictions, and that is the bit that I want to get off to the start here. This is top 10 rides that are currently available to be ridden, or they are under refurbishment. These are. I would say I have not ridden Test Track since it reopened with its latest changes. I've not done the Milwana walkthrough experience.
But that's really it when it comes to Walt Disney World, for me at least.
I
So just
have
putting that caveat out there.
done both, and I was riding Test Track yesterday. Um, I'm
But what did you ride first?
Test Track.
But what was the thing you were going to the park to ride?
Test Track.
You're not helping my case here.
No.
Continue.
Frank, I know what you were going for, but honestly, we were not going for rides. We were going for food and wine.
As one does as an adult and having access to Walt Disney World.
I'm working on a short about.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I just gotta actually edit things. Anyways, that is our caveats. We are going to argue our asses off about the actual top 10. Mitch,
How do you want to do this?
I was gonna say that's the question. We haven't done a proper ranking episode before. I think we argue for a second over a couple of details.
Do we want to narrow it to a pool of attractions we feel like should be in the top 10 and then see how we whittle it down? And then from there, figure out placement. Because it's going to be hard, just you and I, unless you want me to pull Carmen in as a tiebreaker.
Yeah, that would. In case for any audio listeners, Mitch is currently looking off into the distance off camera, where I'm presuming talking to Carmen, and I just keep seeing nods, just no's. Anyways, folks, yeah, we're going to be going over this. I think the best way to do this is just argue. I have my top 10, Mitch has his top 10, and I'll kind of just slowly roll through those and place things as they should be.
Carmen has agreed if we cannot break a tie, that she will break the tie for us.
Okay, so here's my question. Number 1 is Journey into Imagination with Figment, right?
Doesn't make... So for context, I made a list of my top 5 per park, and then from that narrow down to a top 10. Figment did not make my Epcot list. It's just... I've only ridden it once. It was as an adult. I have no nostalgia for the character other than the fact that Griffin is trying to indoctrinate my son into the world of Figment.
Successfully.
And
I am successfully doing it.
Thus far, we'll see how far this goes. And the only time I rode it, 2 of the 5 rooms were broken. There was no audio and there was no effects. So
I do have Figment on my list at number 9.
Okay, I need to say that does get cut from the final top 10.
We'll see. I did get.
There's no way there's enough overlap to keep Figment in the top 10. I'm just saying that now.
I put him in our intro, just because of how wonderful he is. Also, man,
he's fine in video, in meet and greet, in comics. The ride is not good. It is objectively bad.
There's a lot of Figment merch right now for Food and Wine.
Oh, I know, and you've bought a lot of it.
I've bought none of it yet.
You have that pass holder discount. I'm just saying, something will come home with you before the end of Food and Wine.
So honestly, yesterday was the first time I've been to Epcot since Food and Wine started.
Sure, which we're middle of September for reference for those who are watching after the fact.
My goal was only food. And I only spent my money on food and alcohol.
I think you can treat yourself to one Figment thing. It is the first Food and Wine since you moved down there.
Don't get me wrong. I will be buying these. I am fully intending on purchasing these. I just don't know which ones I'm purchasing yet.
Just narrow it down and do your thing.
Okay.
But yeah, Figment I don't think can make...
I've joked about Figment enough. I do think he should be on our list. I will fight for that later when we're not...
You can fight for it later. I think we can both agree on a few... I think we can agree. We can come to a consensus on a few that have to be in the top 10.
Let's just put Guardians.
Do we want to start there? That is my number 1. It is my favorite attraction. It's my favorite ride in the world to this point. So Guardians for me, I will fight for it to be at number 1. I know you're going to probably bring a couple of other things, but
it is not my number 1.
Okay.
I love it. It is probably technically the best ride at Disney.
Yes.
Just for me, there are things I like more.
Okay. We'll see where we get to then. But that is definitely in the running, I think, for, if not top 1, top 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm. Throwing out some other ones. I think I'm just going to run through my top 10.
Yeah, we can start there if you'd like.
So my number 10 is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Okay.
I think Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is just the perfect classic roller coaster. I am so excited for the refurbishment to be done so that we get to ride this ride again. this refurbishment has been going on for a really long time at this point. For good reason, the track really needed to be fixed. Um, and it's going to be really helpful with that ride constantly running, especially once Villains and Cars is open and that area is just going to be absolutely crowded. But I think Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is the one I always would go back to. It's one that has a personal love, but there's other things about other attractions I just like more.
I was going to say, for me with Big Thunder is a fantastic coaster, but I don't think, even looking at the coast, like for me personally, it's probably a top 3 coaster in its own park, but it's not it for me. Like, I don't want to overload this with Magic Kingdom roller coasters,
I think
right?
it's
So I
the
have
second best coaster at Magic Kingdom.
2 coasters above it
I would
in
guess
my Magic Kingdom list personally.
Space Mountain.
Nope.
Okay, in that case, it would be Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Tron.
Correct.
Yeah, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is in like the honorable mention category for me. But
It is for me as well. It doesn't make my top 10 for reference.
I got personal beef with that though. That is the one attraction I've ever lost a hat on.
That sucks. For me, I think Mine Train is the realization of what Big Thunder set out to be. I think it's a more immersive ride. I think the theming makes sense for the area of the park that it's in. I do like that it's a classic Disney theme as opposed to, some of the other IP that has been injected into the parks. And I think the train and the overall ride system with the swaying of the barrels or with the minecart is a more enjoyable experience than the static train car of Big Thunder.
Yeah, see, I like the theming of Big Thunder more than the Snow White theming, and then also, I hate the ride vehicles of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Those are not made for bigger people, and
I am also
physically
a bigger person.
painful.
I am a bigger person as well. I'm willing to squeeze myself into that cart because I think it is the more entertaining experience. And it's hard for me to say, like, I don't want to rule something out because I don't fit well on it. You know what I mean? Looking at my top 10 there. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to segue right from that into my number 10, which is Flight of Passage.
Interesting.
It's a great attraction. Don't get me wrong. I don't love the use. I don't love the use of 3D screens. I don't love 3D tech in general. I don't like the 3D glasses. So that has bugged me. But in terms of the immersion into that world, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a really interesting iteration on the Soarin' sort of mechanism, the curved screen and all that. But for me, it's something I would love to ride. It's not something I'm waiting more than an hour to ride.
Yeah, I don't even have Soarin' on my list. Not Soarin', Avatar on my list.
Flight of Passage. Yeah, because you don't like Avatar.
Don't like that ride.
Yeah, I like that ride. I don't like the IP.
Well, even aside from the IP, I don't love the IP for what they've used for storytelling, but the actual world of Avatar. It's why I want us to do an Avatar episode at some point. The actual world of Pandora, I love.
Yeah.
The world building is amazing. But for Flight of Passage specifically, it's such a finicky ride. They are pumping people in and out of it so much that if there's even the slightest detail wrong with your seat, they kick you off and it's your fault. I've had this happen.
It is one of those things you need to do your research and figure out the best way to squeeze yourself into that chair. And its knees as far forward as you can.
I have had situations though when it has not been my fault.
Yeah.
When it is the actual ride seat breaking, when it has also been told to me that it was my fault. I think there's just a lot of issues with that ride, which is why I have it nowhere near my top 10. It's not even in my honorable mentions. And honestly, I just don't bother with it because it's not worth the wait for me.
No, that's entirely understandable. Totally agree with you there. The 2 times that I've ridden it and the people that I've ridden it with, we've all walked away astounded by it. So for me, it makes my top 10, but I'm happy to throw it off of our top 10 list. And if you have beef with us over where Flight of Passage lands on this list, you leave it in the comments down below.
Yeah, please. I'm sure we're gonna get things wrong on this one too, people. Let's talk about number 9, which my 9 is Journey into Imagination with Figment. How about you?
My 9 is something I think could squeak into our top 10, and that's Ratatouille or Remy's Ratatouille Adventure at Epcot. So this is a really interesting use of the trackless ride system. I just there and it's something I will try to ride every time, but again, it is one of those things where if the wait time is high enough, I can justify skipping it. Which once we hit like the top 5 of this list, these are all cannot miss, must ride every trip attractions if you're going to that park. So for me, Ratatouille is one of those things similar to what I would say Frozen After was prior to Ratatouille's opening. Of I'd love to ride this. I'm not waiting more than an hour for it. Same as I felt about Flight of Passage. So for me, Ratatouille is an IP that I love. I like shrinking down into that world. The queue is fantastic, which thankfully it is because it can get up to pretty significant waits at times. My advice to anybody going is just if you can, get to the international gate, enter from the international gate, and beeline it to France. It's the best chance to get to ride it with a minimal wait time. But for me, I love.
It also is one of the rare rides at Disney that has a single rider line.
That is also true. Yeah,
it is worth it as a single rider line. It does not make my top 10. I enjoy the ride fine, and I really, really love Ratatouille. It is one of those rides where it's just overall a little disappointing for me. I was expecting more than a 3D glasses screen ride, and I do think it does a good job with that. I just personally would have preferred a little bit more of the actual physical of you're in this kitchen and whatnot, and a little less of the screens.
I do like the effect of you have heat effects and smell effects, and there Ratatouille does right what Journey into Imagination does wrong, and a lot of the effects being broken for a long time on Figment, and less so with Ratatouille.
Really not. You just had a bad instance.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to go back to it because it's your favorite thing in the world. And I'm not about it.
I want to bring back to Figment for a second. I got to introduce somebody to it for the first time yesterday, and everything was working properly as it normally does. Suffer. But genuinely one of the funniest moments I've ever had, and I recognize that this attraction is largely disliked, but genuinely one of the funniest moments I had was introducing someone to when the scientist becomes the moon.
That was great. That's a fun moment. But again, I don't dislike the attraction. I'll say that I do appreciate it for what it is. There's not a single attraction I think in any park that I like truly dislike unless it involves water.
That's fair.
I don't like getting wet if I'm going to a theme park. It's not necessary. I'm going to a water park for that, not a theme park.
Yeah, I would say the only exception to that for me is Cali River Rapids.
I don't like. See, Cali doesn't make my list for that reason.
It doesn't make my list, but only because there's just other things to put on it. Cali River Rapids is in my personal
honorable mentions. And it's probably in your Animal Kingdom top 5 because there's like 6 attractions total in that park.
Yeah, but it's great hanging out in that park. Also, there's a ton of attractions if you are all right with actually, hanging out and walking.
Well, there's a ton of attractions that involve there's a lot of entertainment, I would say. Less attractions.
Fair. Well,
or rides.
Yeah, because a lot of
rides.
Rides. We're talking rides.
A lot of shows, a lot of like character interactions that are really great. A lot of live animals.
And a lot of ambiance. I do think it's one of the best theme parks.
It's got some of the best restaurants in the parks too. We'll have to do that at some point, like our top restaurants in the park, knowing that neither of us have been to you've been to probably 2 or 3 times as many as I have, but I've had some fun restaurant experiences.
Oh yeah.
Just definitely. Not as many trips.
Yeah, I don't think that one would be a ranked list like this. Anyways.
No, we'd just be talking about some of our favorite restaurants in the parks and our personal recommendations.
Let's talk about our number 8. Mitch, what do you have at number 8?
Number 8 on my list is the Hollywood Hotel. It is the Tower of Terror at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Wow, that low.
It's not that it's low, it's that there are so many good attractions. Like, this is where the list becomes everything from here on out is something I have to ride every trip.
I am shocked it is that low, though.
You won't be when you hear the rest of the list.
Tower of Terror is my number 3.
See, I could see it for me being as high as 4, depending on the day.
Mm-hmm. I'm just putting a note.
But yeah, I mean, Tower of Terror is totally your aesthetic. It's totally Carmen's aesthetic as well. So if there's a tiebreaker on this, you're going to win, and I'll give it to you. Tower of Terror is just one of those rides where it's what's amazing about it is I have a pretty, I wouldn't say it's I have a fear, but it's not like it's not a debilitating fear. I have a fear of falling. And you would think, oh, then you would hate the Tower of Terror. But it's not that kind of attraction. And I think the sense of falling there is different from like your traditional drop ride because it is the ride system with the way that it's built. It's up and down. It's a thrill ride. It's not just a traditional drop tower. And the story that they tell in there is it's amazing.
Yeah, I am a massive Twilight Zone fan. Like I said, it's my number 3. For now on our list, I'm just throwing it at number 4, but we will properly solidify things once we have more.
I would say, yeah, that is definitely one that is on the top 10. Where it falls is to be decided.
Yeah, I genuinely, this is one of my favorite rides ever. It is what I love about drop towers. I think Guardians in California is slightly more fun, but I think this is the epitome of horror in theme parks. It is, well, campy horror in theme parks, I should say.
I was going to say, have you been to Epic Universe yet? Because I know their horror stuff is more on like the traditional classic horror Universal monster route.
Like so they have classic horror there, and it is one of my favorite things at that park.
I can't wait to visit.
You really need to come down.
I don't right now.
Fair. They do that. This is a very like early 80s style of that campiness. Twilight Zone is a lot more existential horror.
Yeah.
And I think it really does a good job of mirroring that to the park. And then also just the nitty-gritty for me on how this ride was created. That this was a Twilight Zone episode made after the host of the Twilight Zone had passed away. I think is very, very cool.
Yeah, the history of the attraction and the engineering behind the ride system. I think if you have not, go watch the episode of Behind the Attraction on that ride specifically. It's really, really interesting. Then I don't think they touch on it as much in the Imagineering story, but yeah, do jump into that Behind the Attraction episode. And if you want to go back into the Wayback Machine and listen to our episode on that, please do, because I think we really delve into a lot of what we love about that IP and about that attraction. And I can agree with you on almost all of those points. And like I said, my list is incredibly fluid from here on out, where on a good day, 1 could be 5, 8 could be 2. It's gonna be an interesting back and forth. That's for sure.
That's very, very fair.
What's your number 8?
My number 8 is Tron Light Cycle Run.
See, I've got that at 6.
6 is fine. I'm gonna say we'll put again more solid.
Split the difference for now, and then we'll go through and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Tron Light Cycle Run is awesome. It's such a fun ride.
Yeah.
I struggle with it, man.
Again, it's another one that isn't big person friendly.
No, it is not.
But if you have the will and you can pull down on that bar, you just pull with all your might and you'll squeeze in. I promise you that, unless you're, like, use the test seat before you get in line for the attraction is all I'm going to say. If you're concerned,
if you really want to ride it and cannot fit in those seats, they do have a additional
traditional seat.
But honestly, the traditional seat is kind of boring. I think so much of I have ridden on both. I am someone who flirts the line on whether or not they fit on that attraction. Not entirely because of weight, but also just because of body proportion.
And yeah, height.
The problem
really the biggest thing is thighs.
Yeah,
my thighs, they be thundering.
That what breaks me.
But I will say it isn't. If you're on the bubble, this is an easier ride to get into than Flight of Passage, because it is a manual mechanism, you pull down on the cycle bar to lock the restraint in place.
And the employees know very well what this ride is. This was a ride designed for Japan, not a ride that was designed for America.
Well, it was designed for Shanghai. It was designed for
I thought it
China.
was Disney Tokyo.
I'm pretty sure it's Shanghai.
We'll say
It
Shanghai.
was like the marquee Tron Light Cycle.
Yes, please correct me on that.
I got you. Shanghai.
Shanghai. Okay. A lot of the fun of this ride though comes from that leaning forward power. Oh, and the other thing I was going to mention about the bar. For me, it hits me right in the middle of my shin. It doesn't hit me.
Ooh, okay.
It doesn't hit me right in that sweet spot
in your knee.
Yeah. So it physically hurts to ride this ride.
Probably. That one would be tough for me. I'm able to squeeze it into the knee. For me, the fit is more so around the middle. Which I was worried about the back restraint not getting down far enough, but I sucked it in and pulled with all my might, and I squeezed in.
That's why I want to warn people on body proportions specifically.
Yes.
It is an amazing ride. I am so excited to ride it once they do the Tron Ares overlay for it.
But Jared Leto.
Yes, but Jared Leto's not going to be a part of it. 9 Inch Nails is the only thing that matters.
Which would be awesome. But I will say, if you can ride this attraction, do it at night. I've ridden it twice. I rode it once. I got very lucky with the first time we rode it. We got it was still during the virtual queue phase. We got ride group 6 or something. So basically we entered the park and it was the first thing we rode that day, which was a really cool experience, except it was at 9 a.m. The second time I rode it, sorry, go ahead.
I think morning is the second best time to do it.
The best time to do it is at dusk or at night and in the front row. If you can ask specifically for the front row, I'm not a front row guy. This attraction specifically, the front row is the only way I could ride this attraction.
See, I would also argue for the back row.
Well, I mean, for the extra G's, sure, but that initial launch of you being at the front of the train I think it might be why I've bumped it up higher, is just 50% of the time I've ridden in the front, and it's an incredible experience in the front row.
That is fair. I like seeing the. It's not even the extra G's. It's seeing the other carts. There's something.
Seeing the train as it goes around the track.
There's something so cool about actually seeing the light cycles run.
That's true.
I'm a massive Tron nerd. I genuinely love this franchise. I have made my life around video games partially because of this franchise.
That's why I'm surprised it's only numbers. What did we say? 8 on your list?
It really the factor of it falling down to 8 is my top 6 are fantastic, amazing, ridiculously. I love this stuff rides, and then also the physical pain aspect for me.
Understandable then. Yep.
I got that right now. We're keeping that at 7. We will see again where everything
goes. Yes.
I think now is when things are going to start to get divisive.
I was going to say, speaking of 7, I have the best attraction at Animal Kingdom at 7. I don't know what you have.
I have Test Track at number 7.
See, Test Track doesn't make any of my lists. I have Everest at 7.
I have Everest at 6.
Okay, so Everest I think is making this top 10, thankfully, because it is probably the best traditional second best traditional roller coaster at Disney. For me at least.
I'm even willing to argue that we can put this just at number 6 for our list.
I'm good with that for now.
Because we've got to put it over.
I would put Tron above Everest personally, just from a ride experience perspective. But we can talk about that.
Mm-hmm. I'll get through Test Track really quickly.
Yeah, please.
Part of this is because of the new version, which obviously, with Mitch not being,
I can't speak to that.
Can't speak to it. I'm fine with us keeping it lower on the list so long as it stays on the list. But I think Test Track for me has always been one of my favorites, even going as far back as the OG Bright Colors and Mannequins.
I did like the test dummy version of this. I did write it as a kid. I have a lot of nostalgia for that, but nostalgia for that doesn't make me forget that it is the inferior version of this ride. Because the perfected version of this attraction is the theming they have in Cars Land in California.
But we are not talking about California at all.
I know, but there's for me,
and the new version of this ride, I genuinely like as much, if not more, as the Cars.
Okay. So for me, I can't see it on this list because the last time I wrote it was the version that I I would not have. I waited like 25 minutes for the ride. I would not tell anyone to wait more. Like it should be a walk on with the old version of the ride. Again, I can't wait to see what the new version is
Yeah,
like. But for me,
I think the
I
old
can't
version
think
gets a little
there's.
too muddied in the create your own car stuff.
Yes, it
Test
does.
track
I just.
now is a lot more smooth and streamlined into what it is, which is let's show you what the future is. Let's show you
Yeah.
where we are going with car technology. And it is one of the core tenets of Disney, especially in the parks, is like this incredibly hopeful, idealistic version of the future.
Yeah.
And Test Track has that in spades in such a unique way I haven't really seen them do before. Of, yeah, we're going to show you this idealistic future with flying cars and whatnot, but it is actually somewhat realistic of, hey, we might actually be able to do these things. We are showing off current modern day technology in a really unique way. There's this beautiful moment in the ride where you are driving through a physical cityscape, and then they're like, well, then they're going to go into this thing of show you what your car sees, and the all of the ambience of that city fades away, and you just see these LED dots as like the scanner of your car picking all of that up. And
Right.
it is genuinely like this gorgeous moment within the ride. It looks so cool. This is so worth it. I think that loop around at the very end is something I will always adore.
It's cool. That is that I do like the speed of that attraction. It's one of the fastest rides at Walt Disney World. But depending on the amount of disagreements we have from this top five that we're about to get into, I can very much see this getting bumped from the list. So I just need you to be ready for Test Track to be
I will
bumped off
fight
this
for it.
list.
I'm going to fight for Test Track. I'm just warning you.
I'm looking at my top five, and all of these have to make it.
I mean, we have 6 spots left. And one of the spots that we
Our
already
list would
filled
have
is
to be
Guardians.
our list would have to be identical for that to work, though. That's what I'm saying.
I have a feeling a lot of our top 5 is similar.
I hope so. But let's get on to number six. Or I guess
Number 6 for me and number 7 for you, which is Expedition Everest. We haven't really talked about.
yeah.
Which is, I love that ride. It is the best thrill
It,
ride at Animal Kingdom.
it is the reason to go to Animal Kingdom. It is one of the best roller coasters in Florida, with the theming, with the fact. I'm not going to talk about the twist. If you've ridden it, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's
I
old.
do.
Talk about it.
All right. The idea of going both for I love the idea. So my home park, Canada's Wonderland here in Toronto, there is a ride where it sends you backwards, but it's a very traditional roller coaster of, oh my God, you're going through the whole thing forward, and then crink, 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 and it just drops you and you go backwards. The unexpected nature of that reverse launch and the fact that there's basically an entire second track, the engineering behind it is phenomenal, because the worst thing about the Bat, which is the reverse coaster at my park, is it can only run one train because it's one track. But with Everest, as soon as they've cleared that reverse launch, you can send the next train, right? It's the engineering behind that design choice is so unique to Everest that I really appreciate it as an attraction. And yeah, it's one of my favorite thrill experiences in the parks.
Yeah, I really love this ride. It is my go-to. It is another single rider line, which I will always love. Um, we don't have enough single rider lines in Disney, and we should get more. And we are slowly. Test Track also, for what it's worth, single rider line.
Which is how I thought about riding it the last time I was there. But the last time I was at Epcot, I had COVID. I didn't know it at the time, but I had COVID.
Look, whenever you
And
have the opportunity to properly come down, we will go to Epcot and ride Test Track.
I cannot wait to do that with you and Figment. Our Epcot day is going to be epic.
Yeah. Well, it's also our Epic Day will be epic.
That also
I
tracks.
just love
Yeah.
making that joke. It's just fantastic. Yeah, I think Expedition should stay on this list. It will stay on this list. Since
This is a top 10 attraction at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. It is the best reason to visit Animal Kingdom.
Really wish the Yeti worked, but it will never work. So
No, and I don't want them to try to make it work unless they can actually make it work. Any sort of retrofitting there might put the ride more at risk of destabilization than anything else. So just it is what it is. I'm disappointed that it doesn't work, but I don't need it to work to appreciate the experience anymore.
Very fair. So we talked about moving along. We talked about my number 6 also being Expedition Everest.
Yeah, mine was Tron.
Yours was Tron. Okay, so we just
my 6 was Tron, and we've talked about Tron at length. So I think we can
move on then to number 5. So Mitch, what is your number 5?
This is where I might upset you, but I don't know how I can because like we're into the top 5 now. This is the cream of the crop, and it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mitch, I might be the one upsetting you.
There's no way this doesn't make your goddamn top 10 list.
Pirates of the Caribbean is my number 11.
No. You're gonna fight for Test Track. I'm fighting for Pirates. Pirates makes this goddamn list.
I'm down to have those in our bottom too.
I can't. It had no. This is a okay. Pirates is I would argue it is the perfect water attraction. It is the perfect boat attraction. Behind the theming, the use of perspective, the attraction effects, the overlays they do with real actors in the ride. It's just there's the music. It's the perfect dark ride.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic and amazing ride. Before we started recording, I was hemming and hawing on my number 10 between Pirates of the Caribbean and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I think for me, it just comes down to preference of style. Pirates of the Caribbean is this amazing attraction, and I will always ride it. But for me, I prefer Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
See, for me, Pirates is that ride. I'm riding it every time, no matter what. I'm not going to get in a ride for Big Thunder if it's an hour wait. I would wait an hour plus to ride Pirates.
Yeah, I just wouldn't. I love Pirates. I will not wait. I will not ride it if it's above a 30-minute wait.
Man, you're breaking my heart here.
And honestly,
all right, what's your 5?
Part of that, honestly, at this point is the annual pass of it. I've become so broken of I'll just come back another time.
That's not an excuse though, because we're talking to an audience. Not everyone is going to be a pass holder. Not everyone is going to have Florida as their home park. If you're making a once in a lifetime trip to Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, Pirates needs to be ridden. Big Thunder is Big Thunder in every other park. I think
the list of you must ride these rides if this is your once in a lifetime trip. We are saying what are the 10 best. Those are two different.
But the 10 best would be the ones that if you're on that trip, you need to ride.
Not necessarily. Best means different.
Pirates needs to be. I would argue to bump some of the things we've already put on the list down to have Pirates above them.
Absolutely not. Anyways, my
we'll
number
get
5
there.
is Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay, so for me, Rock and Roller Coaster is my favorite ride or second favorite ride at Hollywood. It is my number 4.
I'm fine keeping this low if we have consensus. So
that's not low. Mid of the top 10 is good.
I mean, let me rephrase. Okay, here's the thing. I'm looking at the design I have going on the actual like video version of this, which you can watch on YouTube right now. I have it set up so like there's 2. Look, this is what I get for having quick keys on
hotkeys.
Yeah, hotkeys. Hotkeys just feels wrong for me for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, this is what I get for having that. Yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster is awesome. I will always love this ride. This is was what made me love roller coasters. It's just excellent.
This is the first launch coaster I ever rode. I rode this as a kid. And as a kid, I grew up on Aerosmith. Like Aerosmith was the first concert I ever attended was Motley Crue and Aerosmith. Like Aerosmith I have a very strong affinity for this group. So going to a theme park and they have a ride centered around at the time one of my favorite bands of all time, I would say, is amazing. And when I heard of the news of the refurbishment, the retheming, it does break my heart a little bit because I have such nostalgia for Aerosmith as an IP or as an act. Bringing IP to that ride in the form of the Electric Mayhem, honestly, I think it might bump it up this list, which would be really hard to do for me, given what my top 3 is, because this was my number 4. But damn if the Muppets don't have a chance.
Yeah, I really love this. I love Aerosmith. I love classic rock just in general. I have a first printing vinyl edition of Twiz in the Attic, the album
I
that
think I
Walt
got you
shares.
beat on that one. I have from the year 2002 a stuffed Mickey in the rock and roller coaster denim jeans and red vinyl jacket.
That is incredibly impressive. But this is more. I'm speaking more to just my love of Aerosmith in general on this one.
No, I know, but
Um,
for me, it's the crossover between my love of Disney and my love of this band
oh yeah,
that really puts it over the top for me personally, and why it's as high in my top, or why it's well into my top five. Whereas with you, it's like
it's been
right
a
on that
thing for
bubble.
me. Like every time that people have been like, "Oh, let's pitch in more ideas for other bands for this," I have stressed out because I don't want that. I love it as it is. It has its issues. I'm not. None of the rides I think on our list are perfect. Um,
Oh God, no! The next one on, I mean, well, my number four was this. Once we get into my top three, they all three of them have the potential of some pretty significant technical issues.
oh yeah, I'm looking at some of the ones I got coming up. With one exception, there's massive technical issues always. Rock and Roller Coaster is just a bear of a line though. Because of how of the launch coaster and because of how they do the pre-show and whatnot. Um, it is at a point where it has a single rider line, but you are frankly dumb if you use it.
I wouldn't say you're dumb for using it, but there isn't as much of a benefit
It
to
is a
that single rider
definitively
line as there
poor
are.
decision to take to use the single rider line.
Yeah,
You will get on quicker if you just hang out in the regular line.
just get in the line.
Um, yeah, it has to be on our list. It's amazing for a reason. Um, I know many people who this is their favorite ride at Disney. Um,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think the swap over to Muppets is going to be incredibly bittersweet.
Yeah, I think for like the thing with an attraction starring a group like Aerosmith, it's kind of time locked to when that ride first opened, and it will be nice to have an attraction that doesn't feel like such a moment in time snapshot, because like the ride opened with Aerosmith in '99, and I hate to say it, but having seen Aerosmith in concert in like the mid 2000s, which is when I went, or no, my first concert would have been shortly after this, so like 2003, 2004, something like that. I think I was like 12 or 13 at the time. Steven Tyler was not the Steven Tyler I remember from the recordings, and I'll just leave it at that. And they've gotten old, frankly, over the last 26 years. And eventually they're no longer going to be with us. And RIP Ozzy Osbourne. I didn't get a chance to say it on any of our shows, as I don't think we recorded anything through that time. But I'm now feeling my age a lot more, where the acts that I grew up as my dad's favorite acts are starting to do their thing. And it really is this, I don't really want to get into my thoughts on morality and or mortality and all of that. So I do think it's a very smart decision to go with a timeless IP on a ride like this, because you don't run that risk either of the IP not being renewed, or, it's going to be hard to ride something like this after the passing of any of our favorite members of the band.
Oh yeah, and I think this is smart as well for like just a way to keep the Muppets in the parks, especially with there being rumors that once the Disney Village show runs out, they will swap in the Muppet. They might potentially swap in the Muppets there.
I could see them coming up with like a 3 or 4 show rotation to go in there, maybe either depending on the season or just what they're feeling. And
rotations are
Electric
hard.
Mayhem makes a lot of sense there. Muppets makes a lot of sense there.
I mean, let's talking like purely logistically. If you were doing rotations, those are like 2-year, 3-year rotations.
Sure.
Which doesn't make nearly as much sense. It's just full swap for whatever the next thing is.
Muppets might be a good like always there, because it requires,
I think,
frankly, fewer live actors.
Yeah. Disney does not love keeping their live shows around for long, with a couple of exceptions.
Yeah.
Did we say your number 5 yet?
Yeah, my number 5 was just getting my list back up. Pirates, and
right.
Yeah.
I currently have Pirates in our honorable mentions.
It's not. Goddamn it! That has. What is on the list right now?
Currently on the list right now, these are only ones we have consensus on. which are
I know.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at number 1. We just put it there
Correct.
immediately. We knew what's up.
It's both of our number ones. I don't even have to know your list to know it's number 1.
Yeah, it's not my number 1.
Oh, God damn it! But it is staying at number 1.
Yeah.
I will fight you on that.
We have the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. I have it
At
currently number 4, temporary until we figure out a better spot.
Yeah.
Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith, number 5.
Okay.
Number 6, Expedition Everest. Number 7,
Mm-hmm.
Tron Life Cycle Run.
I really want you to put Pirates in there at 8 right now as a placeholder because it has. That is what it needs.
I get you.
Give me 9. Give me 9 for now.
So
give me 9 for now. It cannot be in our honorable mentions. God damn it!
I'm only putting things on the board right now that we have consensus on. We will argue after.
Okay. Fine.
You screwed me with Figment. This is what you get.
It's not okay. What? All right. Moving on then. My number 4 was Rock and Roller Coaster. Yours?
Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance.
Okay. For me, that is my number 3.
Yeah. It's the most technically impressive ride at Disney, right? Like
when it works.
When it works, yeah. There's that caveat. And frankly, even when it doesn't, the main thing that breaks is the Kylo Ren animatronic, and I can take it or leave it with that thing at this point. All the other
and the laser cannons as well. Or have they gotten those wrinkles worked out?
Those have been somewhat consistent since I've been going on.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, for me, this ride is, it is the perfect attraction from queue theming to pre-show.
I think it is the greatest queue at Disney.
Mine Train is pretty good.
Mine Train is pretty good, but this one has that transition from real world to space.
See that, but that one for me, that I don't even consider that part of the queue. As soon as you hit that first pre-show, you're on the ride.
See, that transition is the pre-show, and I think pre-show is queue.
Agree to disagree there.
More is Guardians because that.
No.
I like it less now, but that's mostly just because of people, not because of the.
Well, no, but there's another pre-show that we're going to talk about in a minute that is also, top 3 Disney pre-show.
Oh yeah, which I'm sure we'll get to it. And because we passed by it, I also want to shout out the pre-show for Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah,
as always,
phenomenal.
But yeah, I mean this ride's just awesome. It genuinely, there's not a bit of this ride I do not like.
There is nothing about riding this ride. There's nothing like riding this ride. There are multiple moments where your jaw will drop, whether you are or are not a Star Wars fan. And I think that is what is really indicative of it being such a great attraction. It's just, this is must ride. This is rope drop. This is every trip to Hollywood, every trip to Disneyland you're getting on this ride. Yeah. I got in line to get on this ride at the end of the night of my last trip and was so disappointed because it broke down right after we cleared the Stormtrooper room for the night. They shut it down.
Damn.
And I got a fast pass for the following day to ride any attraction in any park. And you want to know what day that was of my trip, Griffin?
Was that the day you left?
No, it was the day before we went to Epcot, which I've already said on this episode was the day where I realized I had COVID.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a fantastic ride. It will be up here in our top 10 somewhere. It has to be.
I would honestly right now probably put it in at tentatively 3.
See, I'm saying tentatively 4, but I can see 3.
Let's 3 for now, and then we'll see if we argue it down to 4.
Fair. I'm gonna just do some readjustment here. What's your number 4?
My number 4, we've already talked about. Rock and Roller Coaster. Great ride. Cannot skip it. Cannot miss it.
Fair. So I currently, just in our general organization, again, trying to keep things a little smart for when we actually properly rank them. I currently have Tower of Terror at 4, Rock and Roller Coaster at 5. I'm thinking swap them.
My personal list, I would swap them. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to swap them. I don't feel bad about that.
No. I think both of those are top 5 Walt Disney World attractions.
The other call out I want to give to Rise of Resistance before we move forward, just for how much that ride rocks. That is the first ride I ever tried to go on once I got my annual pass. I beelined it immediately to it, and then it proceeded to break down. um,
I will say, for me, the thing about this ride that I think is so special, my honeymoon trip where we flew to Vegas, drove through the desert 4 hours to get to Anaheim to go to Disneyland. That first day in the park, rope drop, we're both delirious. The first thing we had to ride was Rise. And I have photos that I will show you of me in tears in that queue, just being in the queue, not even on the ride, the queue. It's incredibly special, especially for Star Wars fans, but really for people of all ages. And if this doesn't make you a Star Wars fan, I don't know what will. My sister started watching the Star Wars movies after going on this ride after historically saying she doesn't like Star Wars.
yeah, it's fantastic. It especially with how much love the parks give to the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I love it.
Okay. So that was
I don't
my
think it's
number
gonna
3,
make
but
our top 10, but I do want to shout out Smuggler's Run real quick.
no, it will not be in the top
It's not gonna
10.
make our top
Maybe
10.
after they add some more to it. I think
Uh,
once they make some of the
I
changes they've
also want
proposed, it
to
might.
say shame on you for being the single worst single rider queue. That is the one ride that shouldn't have a single rider queue.
Yeah. Oh, I can see it having the single rider queue for someone who has a group that doesn't necessarily want to go on and coordinate.
Well,
Or
my problem is the single rider queue, the single riders on that 9 times out of 10 just get forced into the engineer position, which
that's
is
also true,
which
yeah.
is the don't do anything position on that ride
Currently.
currently. Um, maybe
They
in a
will be
better
choosing the
later.
destination with some of the enhancements they've announced.
Yeah, again they're working on making it better, so they get some props. Number 3. I've talked
Mine
about
was
mine.
Rise,
Okay, perfect. Yours is Rise, mine is Tower of Terror. Which brings us to number 2, Mitch.
which
And
I think my
I
number
think
2 is your number 1,
yeah, I think we have these swapped.
which is Haunted
The Haunted
Mansion.
Mansion, yeah. My number
Yeah.
1 is Haunted Mansion, and my number
Yeah.
2 is Guardians
I'm
of the Galaxy.
I'm happy to put Haunted Mansion in right at 2. We don't really have to argue about either of those.
Yep, I'm
I think
good with it.
that's reasonable. Heck, if you want it to be our list, if you wanted to swap those, I wouldn't be too mad.
Haunted.
Because this is the best attraction at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I love Haunted Mansion. Genuinely spent most of my time in the parks wearing a Haunted Mansion shirt. Had to stop myself from buying the Haunted Mansion baseball jersey they recently put out.
Which you're going to keep an eye out and grab when it shows up at the character outlet, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Although honestly, I might just pick it up for real because that pass holder discount be nice.
Yeah, keep rubbing it in, why don't you?
Yeah, Haunted Mansion is just, I think it is the perfect ride. I think that its comedy has aged so ridiculously well. I think it is that perfect mix between macabre darkness with Disney humor.
Yeah.
And it touches on something that would otherwise be terrifying and incredibly dark, probably too dark for children, in such a way that I think almost to a degree destigmatizes a lot of our minor concerns around horror, around the horrors of the afterlife and whatnot. Genuinely, I think it's wonderful. I love this ride so ridiculously much. It has contributed so much to my love of all things spooky, gothic, and whatnot. And
Yeah, I mean the theming there is incredible. I think there's not been an iteration of this ride that I've ridden that I haven't enjoyed, whether it be California's. I actually haven't ridden California Standard. I've only ridden California with the holiday overlay, and that was awesome. I think this is awesome. I think the way that it crosses the boundary between what is a park attraction and what is a Disney IP. I think this is the best. I mean, I don't want to say best, but I think in terms of theme park turned film franchise or films or other property, I love the overlap with that with Muppets. I love the film they put out recently. I understand and appreciate the Eddie Murphy film, although I'm not in love with it.
Bad movie's bad.
Yeah. And I can't say that about all of the Pirates movies. I think overall Pirates is a better attraction turned film franchise until you get to the latter bit of it. But either way, I think Haunted Mansion just does such a great job of transcending a park attraction into pop culture and into an IP that Disney then can take as an original IP of theirs and turn it into a ton of other things. Like I'd love to see it cross more boundaries. A Haunted Mansion video game would slap.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, play Epic Mickey, goddammit.
I started it.
I could clearly tell that you have not played enough of it by your comments about a Haunted Mansion video game. So
Yeah, I know. I haven't. I got to where did I get to? I think I was in there was an area with a Dumbo thing, and then I forget where it was.
That's the beginning of the game.
Yeah. And like I said, in terms of pre-shows, Haunted Mansion is one of the best pre-shows in the parks.
Yes, but that also reminds me. Stop. We will have our Parks Pet Peeves episode at some point. Because y'all, stop reciting the intro.
Also, stop rushing the door. I don't need to get through this thing that quickly. It's an Omnimover ride. Like you're getting onto it within a minute or two of the first person that goes through that room. You don't have to be the first person through that room.
Speaking of rushing the door, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Oh boy.
Man, people are just brutal with that door once you're past the teleport.
The thing is, I went into that ride. I've only ridden it once. I went into that ride knowing as little as I could, other than the fact that it goes backwards. And oh my God, what an experience that day was.
Yeah, I got to take somebody on it for the first time. So yesterday, I was at Epcot, as I've said a couple times now, with a bunch of our friends. But one of our friends' mom came with us. And she rode Cosmic Rewind with us. I am slightly concerned she might hate us now.
That is a ride for all ages. I took my mother on that, who is not much of a roller coaster person, and she absolutely adored it.
Her mind had a lot of fun with that ride. Her body,
stomach, not so much.
She was pretty woozy after riding it.
Did you see that they made Haunted Mansion Crocs?
No, because I think Crocs are horrible.
I have 3 pairs.
And well, I think you're horrible because of that.
But I put up gibbets in one of them.
You know what? That brings it back around.
All right, good.
No,
I got them largely. It's just easy. They're easy to wear outside, do yard work. And then also the fact you don't own Crocs and you live in Florida where torrential rain is a daily occurrence in the parks is kind of wild to me.
Honestly, I wore them most when I was up on boats in Washington. Because
they're definitely a boat shoe.
Yeah, they have fantastic grip. Yeah, so we have 7. Oh yeah, but the Guardians in general. I mean, yeah, perfect.
Yeah. The different soundtracks amazing. The theming amazing. Terry Crews does a great job. Glenn Close, awesome. The Guardians themselves throughout the attractions, a lot of fun. It's a strange ride building because there is some weird things. Like if you just look around, if you're not looking where they're wanting you to look at any point, you're kind of just staring off into nothing. Like it's just black. And not in the way that Space Mountain is black, but it's just like it just feels like an odd use of space. Like there could have been more in there.
But the nice thing about it with the way that the ride twists and turns is that it's pretty good about getting you to look at where you're supposed to be looking. It is the smoothest roller coaster I've ever ridden. I equate this ride especially to what it feels like to grind on a rail in a skateboarding video game. It is just a perfectly vibed. One of my favorite moments in it is the sideways twists around the moon and around
the
Earth.
sun. Yeah.
Genuinely, it is such a great ride. I think it makes great use of the actual physical objects as well as the screens. And I mean, that backwards launch is one of, if not the
iconic
best at that park.
The only thing I will say is I do think this list may change over time because I do worry just in general and not for just this list about how IP will age in the parks. There are certain things that have stood the test of time. We talked a little bit about Peter Pan's Flight before we started here. While I'm glad to see it doesn't make our list because it's not a very good attraction, I'm glad that has still maintained its popularity through the years.
So much hate. Not
It's not a
necessarily.
good ride. It's not a good ride.
I'm all
It
for hating
it
the. I'm all for hating
it
the
is a
movie, but not the
it is a
ride.
fine ride if you can walk onto it. It is not a fine ride if you're waiting 90 minutes for it in the
Why
Florida
is that
heat.
a fine ride? Because you can never walk onto it. Um,
Exactly. The holiday parties you might have a chance.
nah, nah, man.
Seriously?
That thing is always booked. It does not matter when. Does not matter where. Um, yeah, I think of the rides we've talked about today, I think the only ride that really has that issue is going to be Guardians. And I think a lot of that is that question mark is just because of the MCU. Um, with the Guardians how having, for the most part, essentially wrapped. Um, and whenever going forward, if we do revisit the Guardians again, or who am I kidding? When we revisit the Guardians again, um,
End of volume 3 said Star Lord will return.
yeah, like things won't age fantastically.
No.
But I think we'll be fine. We have Avengers Campus as well, and I think that that's doing all right. Any of these
And
issues
again,
will be 12 years away.
I was going to say I'm curious because we've even seen this thus far with Galaxy's Edge, where they've tried to sprinkle in some like from a timeline perspective and a theming perspective, they wanted to keep it during the sequel trilogy, but people want to see Darth Vader. And like I get it, you want to see Darth Vader, you want to see Darth Vader, so you have to sprinkle some of that stuff in. So I
Well, I think it
do.
also aligned though with the when Galaxy's Edge first opened, the Lucasfilm was intent on everything we are making now is in sequel timeline, and now that is not necessarily the case.
No, it is not.
Again, all of this is to be seen. I think everything else though has this timeless quality to it. We will see because we will see with Guardians.
Do we know when Starfighter takes place?
I don't know. I'm real excited. I'm real
Um,
interested in that movie though. I struggle to be excited about it just because of Star Wars.
so so IGN article. Rumor is it takes place during the sequel trilogy.
I could see it. Makes
So
sense.
rumor is it would take place a few years after where's this here? Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, interesting.
Rise of Skywalker.
It would make sense. I'm gonna bring us back, run us back in because we've been going for a little over an hour now.
Yeah, we should probably start solidifying this list a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we have our top 7 so far, and I want to argue about
But
our
they're not
7.
locked, are they? Like there was
We've locked the top 2.
yeah.
I want to lock this top 7 before we add anything else. The top 7 are the 7 that we agreed upon.
That's okay.
In current order.
So we're only fighting for the bottom of this list, so it doesn't really matter.
And we both have our 2 non-negotiables, and then we will figure out the last one. So our top ones are number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah.
Number 2, Haunted Mansion.
Agreed.
And now we go into the unlocked. Number 3, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Which honestly, I'm really fine with this top 5.
Okay.
4
What's the rest of it?
Rock and Roller Coaster. 5 is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. 6 is Expedition Everest.
Let's stop at 5 for a second. I'm okay with it if you want to flip Rock and Roller Coaster and Twilight Zone. I'm not upset at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it then.
All right.
I honestly think that they are, for our list, I think they're kind of interchangeable.
I think as well it's the unknown factor of where Rock and Roller Coaster is going to be after the retheme.
Yeah. I think the only reason I would put Twilight Zone above it in this instance is just it runs better. God, Rock.
It's a smoother ride. It's a much smoother ride system.
Not even that. Just Rock and Roller Coaster just breaks down all the time.
Yeah.
And then I think the question arc is Expedition Everest or Tron Life Cycle between 6 and 7.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Everest is a better traditional roller coaster. Tron is a more unique experience, but I don't think the coaster experience itself is better than Everest. So are we going to go with the unique factor of the ride vehicle or Everest? I'm also trying to think like the whole experience. The queue, I think the queue on Tron is much better. I don't love
See,
the.
I prefer the queue of Expedition Everest.
I also don't love the locker system on Tron, mostly because my bag got stuck.
See, I like the locker system, but also mind you that I go to Universal as well, and the locker system is just a requirement for almost everything over there.
Yeah. And this locker system is definitely better than the one they got over there.
And this one is like heavily necessary.
And there are bigger lockers. They're not, I can fit my phone in there type lockers like you see on a lot of the Universal rides.
Honestly, a lot of the Universal rides are getting better about those.
That's good.
But
That's
that's
good
not
to
what the
hear.
show's about.
No. Uh Again, I could flip a coin and I can't go to Carmen for the tiebreaker because she hasn't ridden Tron.
I think we leave it as is, and if we feel like adjusting it, they're
Okay.
interchangeable.
Yeah.
Which brings us then to our arguments: Test Track and Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm fine putting Pirates of the Caribbean 8 and then Test Track at 9.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
All right, let's go ahead and update that. Yeah, Pirates of the
And then
Caribbean is a undeniable classic ride. Like, it is fantastic. It just barely doesn't make my list.
see, Test Track for me isn't even on my radar. So that's why I struggle with keeping that on the top 10 personally. So I'm curious what else for you was like an honorable mention before we go any
Oh yeah, I mean,
further in
so
our
my honorable
conversations.
mentions, I have them up here. Were Pirates of the Caribbean. Uh, so for what's worth, I ended up just making a list that was like my top 17.
Sure. I
Um,
did top 5 per park. So
but it's Pirates of
not
the
far off.
Caribbean, Seven Doors Mine Train, Spaceship Earth, Living with the Land, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and Cali River Rapids.
Okay. Yeah, and there's no overlap there with my top 10. And then yeah, for me, my top 5: Magic Kingdom, Haunted Mansion, Pirates, Tron, all made our list. Mine Train I have in there at number 4. Big Thunder at number 5. Hollywood Studios, I had Rise, Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, all made our top 10. Number 4, I have Toy Story Mania and Runaway Railway at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the interactive aspect of Mania.
Oh, I love that, and honestly, I had kind of forgotten about it. The other one I want to shout
You
out.
want to just say screw it, throw that in at number 10 and go to bed?
No, I want to pick from our
Okay.
honorable mentions. I will add it though to our honorable mentions.
Okay. And
And
then
the other one I want to throw out in the honorable mentions that I actually should have included on the list is Slinky Dog Dash.
see, I don't love
I
Slinky.
love the coaster itself, but that line is so bad that
He was nightmarish.
genuinely brings it down for me.
Um, yeah, it didn't like what Hollywood. I was trying to find something to put in there because you said no shows, and I had Phantasmic and
Happily Ever
what other
After.
show did I have? No, Hollywood Studios. It was Phantasmic.
Mickey's Philharmonic. Oh, Hollywood Studios. Muppet Vision.
No, because you said no decommissioned one either. I'm trying to remember the other one was.
Beauty and the Beast.
It might have been Beauty and the Beast.
The only
I
other
really
one
like
was
that
The
show.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, it would have been Beauty and the Beast. Or maybe Star Tours, which we haven't really talked about. But yeah, that's Hollywood. Epcot for me. Guardians was the only one that made our top 5 or top 10 thus far. And then I had Ratatouille at 2, Frozen Ever After at 3, which we haven't talked much about that. I think it's a better version of Pirates, but I think Pirates it's timeless. Whereas for Frozen, if you're not really into the IP, then it's not really much of an experience for
See,
you.
I still think that the original version of that ride that was about Vikings
Maelstrom.
and Maelstrom, that was about like actual Norse culture. I still think that was a better fit in Epcot.
It probably was. I never wrote it, so I can't speak to that.
I think it also took away one of the most fun things to me within the Norway Pavilion, which was the boats from that ride coming out on the top of the waterfall.
Yeah.
But also, it's Frozen. The thing I always take away from Frozen After, honestly, is their line, because their line is just downright evil.
Yeah, it's not great. I've only ever ridden it with Fast Pass at the time or Lightning Lane with what it's called now, but yeah, it's not ideal. Rounding up my top 5 in that park are Soarin' and the Grand Fiesta Tour, which not a lot of people know about because it's kind of hidden away in Mexico, but you got to ride it. It's a nice little boat ride.
Dude, I've ridden that like the
Um,
last like 3 times I've gone to Epcot. For some reason, we just keep going on this ride.
Yeah, you know what? You have a margarita going on the boat or coming off the boat, and you're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
The line for margaritas yesterday was
Oh yeah,
going out of not just the area inside, but was going out of the Mexico Pavilion.
that's insane. But also, it's a Saturday, and you going to Food and Wine on a Saturday is your fault.
Not my fault. It was my friend's fault. Okay,
Nope.
so we have. I would say we have between 4 to go for our number 1. Journey
Or number 10.
or number 10. Journey into Imagination with
You didn't
Figment.
let me go through Animal Kingdom.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry.
The list is Everest.
Perfect.
No, Flight of Passage, Kilimanjaro Safari, because technically you're riding a bus, Navi River Journey, and Dinosaur, which thankfully will no longer be on that list when it reopens as Indiana Jones.
And we'll skyrocket to number 1.
Yeah, it probably goes to number 3 for me once I've ridden it, but I got to ride it.
Fair. Also, we'll have the Encanto coaster, or I guess ride. We don't know.
Attraction. We don't know what that's going to
We
be
know
yet.
it's a ride.
It's probably a dark ride.
Probably.
You'd assume.
Can you imagine an Encanto roller coaster though? Like,
dude, that would be dope. Honestly, they could have done the exact like it could be an Encanto launch coaster and the like dark launch coaster, and it would be freaking awesome.
But yes,
Rocketing through the casita.
we have 5 honorable mentions. One of them is Toy Story Mania. I'm not counting it for what we should put in our top 10.
That's fine.
We've got Journey into Imagination with Figment. We've got Journey into Imagination with Figment. We've got Journey into Imagination with Figment. And we've got Journey into Imagination with Figment.
Fine.
I'm actually just joking. I do not have to, as long as it exists. We have Journey into Imagination with Figment, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Avatar Flights of Passage, and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Where did you have Flights of Passage and Remy?
Remy was 9, Flight of Passage was 10. But I'm also not opposed to Big Thunder or Journey into Imagination taking that spot just because of how much I know you care about the character.
See, I'm willing
and you'll owe me one, which is more important.
See, I was willing to acquiesce for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So I think on the question here is which is the better ride? Is it Remy's Ratatouille Adventure or Big Thunder Mountain Railroad?
I think Big Thunder Mountain is the better ride. I think Remy is the better attraction in terms of theming, in terms of queue, and in terms of the ride itself. The overall experience, I think, is better. But I think as a ride, as a either a thrill or in this case a dark ride, it's hard to compare the two. But at the same time, I do think the ride portion of Big Thunder is better. But that's just because I prefer roller coasters to dark rides.
Fair. I think with your argument, honestly, I kind of want to put Remy's there.
See, with my argument, I kind of want to put Big Thunder there.
God, we can't make a decision.
Let's just agree to disagree and put Muppet Vision there, just because we can, and it's our list, and we never want to forget.
I'm putting Big Thunder Mountain on there.
What?
I'm going Big Thunder Mountain.
Okay,
just making.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, there wasn't as much arguing as I expected there to be.
I knew there wasn't going to be much arguing. We agree on a lot of shit.
Yeah, we gotta disagree more.
You're just mad at me for not including Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that.
It's a ride that like I love it. There's just other things I like more.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I think when
because you included what Figment and something else that I didn't include because I had Ratatouille and Flight of Passage and Pirates, and you didn't have those. What were your 3?
I was gonna say how about I just give you the rundown of my top 10. You give me your top 10, and then we'll give the total.
And then we'll do the overall. Yeah, I think it's good.
Just one last time. My top 10 as follows is number 10, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Number 9, Journey into Imagination with Figment. Number 8, Tron Light Cycle Run. Number 7, Test Track. Number 6, Expedition Everest. Number 5, Rock and Roller Coaster. Number 4, Rise of the Resistance. Number 3, The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And number 1, the Haunted Mansion.
My own personal top 10 after the conversation we've had has changed.
Hell yeah. Journey into Imagination with Figment is now number 1.
No.
Damn.
No, that's not it. Flight of Passage is dropping off my list, and in its place is going Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. You've won me over, even though I think Mine Train is the better attraction. At number 9, I have Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Number 8 is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. 7, Expedition Everest. At number 6, I have Tron Light Cycle Run. 5 is Pirates of the Caribbean. 4 is Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. My top 3, you have Rise of the Resistance, Haunted Mansion, and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
I think we've got some good lists here. But we only have one list that matters, Mitch, and that is our official list. Which is
Journey into Imagination with Figment. Journey into Imagination with Figment. Journey into Imagination with Figment. I'm stuck in a time loop. Please somebody save me. And Journey into Imagination with Figment. Right?
You know what? You know who's not going to save you? It's Figment. Figment is
Apparently.
taking you into the chaos. No, our official list, we have a handful of honorable mentions within it.
As of September 2025.
Yes. With
this will change in the next few years as more amazing things get brought into the parks in Florida, and hopefully the geopolitical climate will make it such that I can experience some of those and we can talk about it together here.
With the caveat as well that we have not ridden Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yes.
But our official list is number 10, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Number 9, Test Track. Number 8, Pirates of the Caribbean. Number 7, Tron Light Cycle Run. Number 6, Expedition Everest. Number 5, Rock and Roller Coaster. Number 4, Tower of Terror. Number 3, Rise of the Resistance. Number 2, Haunted Mansion. And number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Now, for those of you that are mad coming into this video that Pirates of the Caribbean is so low, remember that I had it at number 5. And Griffin left it off his list entirely. So if you're going to flame us in the YouTube comments, you know who to target.
I mean, there's plenty of things that we don't have on our list that people love. Right? Like,
that's the fun thing about the Disney parks. Everyone's going to have their own favorite thing. We're going to go to these parks, and Owen's favorite ride is going to be Journey into Imagination with Figment, because Uncle Griffin's an asshole, and it's going to go into the top 10, whether I like it or not.
I love that I've done this, and also I'm doing it to somebody else as well.
You're a terrible person.
That is our list, though, folks. Please let us know what you think of it in the comments below. This was an incredibly fun episode. We won't want to.
I had a blast. This was great. We got to do more of these top 10s.
Show 1 coming soon because now we have to.
Top 10 Disney video games. It's going to happen.
We'll see if that one can happen. You have to finish Epic Mickey first.
Right. There's probably a few things I got to finish. I still haven't finished Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga.
Number 1, Spider-Man. Okay, perfect.
Which Spider-Man?
I would say...
Is Neversofts?
I would say Insomniac's Spider-Man 1. Although I really love 2 as well. So.
Not Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers?
Mitch, we love that.
You know I love that game.
We both love that game. It's not the best.
But it's in our top 10 and it's our list and we can do whatever we got. Well, God damn it.
Fair enough. We will see y'all in the next episode, but of course keep an eye on all of our stuff. Keep an eye on this channel for all of our fun random shenanigans. If you have an idea for an episode, please let us know in the comments below. But until then, be good to each other and have a magical day.